free.
This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's.
Free.
I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
So, by the way, Evil LJSRK says, off topic, I'm sad you're going to stop playing Tekken 8, but I understand the decision. You're nowhere near your peak. I think if you focused on learning instead of grinding, it'd be more enjoyable. Well, that's the point. Sadly, I don't have time. I'm someone who 6 days a week, for the majority of the day, is here in this office broadcasting. And I'm broadcasting a variety of stuff. If I was an FGC streamer and I was just focused on, Tekken, you're absolutely right. But I'm not. That's what a lot of these, I hate to say it, morons on the internet don't get, especially those who criticize me. And they're like, oh, you see, Phil has a scrub mentality. He says that there's a lot of button mashing or whatever, because there is. Because the difference between what I see and what an FGC player sees is within a certain amount of time, you can only learn so much, correct? Let's be honest. If I'm going to get better at Tekken 8, I would have to grind a lot. Not only playing online, but I call it, when I say grind, what I feel it's time investment in order to finally get a payout. When you grind in an RPG, you're doing a lot of repetitive combat, leveling, but then it's going to pay out later, correct? So when I say grind, I don't mean, just online play. I mean learning, like you're suggesting. Going online, studying, going into training mode, studying, all that studying. That's what I don't have time for, okay? Because I'm a variety dude. I'm a variety streamer. I'm not an FGC streamer that's just sitting here playing fighting games all day. I don't even have an audience for it. Like, if I did those things on stream, people would absolutely hate it. They'd be like, what is this boring stuff? Go right back online and play more people and lose a million times. That's their mentality, So, sadly, that's the situation where, like, people say, oh, Phil's a scrub or whatever. No. What it is I'm not an FGC person anymore. I used to be. I used to be in that mentality. I totally get what people say when they're like, oh, the only way you're going to get better at Tekken is to go and do the replays and study those replays. And you got to go watch a bunch of these other, things and everything. It's like, I can't do that. I just don't have the means and the time. I'm someone who's maintaining a life and a business. I'm not just an FGC head like they are. So I just find that funny that people will do things like criticize me and make videos and laugh at how bad it is what he says in the video. You're not understanding. I'm not you. I'm not in the FGC. This isn't my focus. This isn't even my hobby. This is one part of a many-faceted thing that's my business, and I have to weigh and balance what's worth investing time into. For Tekken, I've reached the limit. You know what I mean? And it is unfortunate, because I love Tekken 8. I know it's a great game, and I know that if I invested enough time into character knowledge, I would be beating all the things that are spammably abusable online. That's why purple is not the highest rank. There's blue and yellow past that for people who have the knowledge and have surpassed that level because they can stop the spam. But I don't have time for that. That's why I stopped playing it. So I appreciate you saying that. I agree with you. I definitely know that if I were to focus on Tekken more and put more time into it, I could get better. I agree with you. But I just don't see the payoff. Again, if I were an FGC player, an FGC head who's into it, and I was going to eventually grind more content out, right? Oh, here's higher level content for everyone, and people like it, and I go to tournaments and I perform. None of that's going to happen. My audience isn't for it. I'm not going to go to tournaments. I don't care. So it's like, at what point do you finally cut off the investment? It's like, right now. This is it. Like, there's no point in continuing with Tekken because I'm never going to get better without too much of a sacrifice of my time from other things, and it's not worth it. There won't be a rewarding, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know what I mean? It's just not. I know it. People are already bored of Tekken. The streams are getting way less people, less support. I mean, Friday Night Fights had one tip from Jax Raxer. That's literally it. No one else cared about it. So why am I still playing this game for, right? Okay, I hope that makes sense. Oh, the FGC, here's the thing. The FGC likes to have people they laugh at, right? Toxic. LTG is definitely the big one, but I'm like number 2 or number 3, all right? So what they do is they take all my content and they take it out of context, and then they say, oh, see, this is what Phil is. So they'll take, like, my Friday Night Fight stream of Tekken 8, and they'll ignore the fact that I'm playing the game at a pretty good level, that I've got pretty good reads on these characters, that I've got pretty good fundamentals and stuff. And instead, they'll just focus on the fact that I fight someone and they literally spam the same move the whole round, and I freak out about it and I lose my cool. And, oh, you see, that's the scrub mentality, that you just can't beat the one move and blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you talking about? No, it's not that. It's not that I'm saying that the game is bad. What I'm saying is the game is expecting you to study it so much that this is now your thing. I don't have time for that. You know, with fighting games, what it used to be was you had to have a level of execution and skill so that if you were going to get wins, you would have to actually be good. Now, it's you don't have to be good to even get wins in a fighting game because everything's such low execution that you could just mash the fucking same 2-3 moves. You don't have to think. I'm either going to do this move or this move. I'll just alternate the two. And you get wins online. And then what someone has to do is study the game to say, how do I beat those 2 abusable moves online? And then when they study, they can, okay, here's the situation. And by the way, there's no universal. It's not like do the one thing. Every character, it's a different answer. With Paul, you got to do this. With Yoshimitsu, you got to do this. With Nina, you got to do this. So it's like, what the hell is this? It's like, I have to have an encyclopedic knowledge of Tekken to get past a certain level that's not even considered a good level. And that, for me, is too much of an investment of time. Now, do you think that they put what I just said, which I've already said, into their videos about me making fun of me? No. They won't analyze it at a high level because that makes their narrative bad. The narrative is Phil's a buffoon. Let's make fun of him and laugh at him. He's a joke in the FGC. The joke's on them because I'm not part of the FGC. I've said it 5,000 times. I'm not part of their community. So when they bring it up and they analyze it from their perspective, it doesn't make sense. I'm not an FGC player. I haven't been in over a decade. I took myself out of that community because I didn't want to put up with their bullshit. You know,